leeway, a little time frame, just to kind of fix myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna record myself, just so I can go back later. So I'll start with the sternum. So, are you gonna have us change the board? Actually, I want to change the board. That'll make me feel better.
Very good.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the sternum. Sternum, both the RAO and the lateral will be lengthwise 10 by 12.
Okay.
That. Oh, thanks for messing this up. Check it out, detented. Good, so I'm detented. Everything's good. So, the RAO is going to be at 40. The lateral is going to be at 72. So if the RAO is at 40, I'm gonna go 10 by 12.
Okay.
And then did you want us to collimate down to 8 by 10 or leave it at 10 by 12?
On the sternum, we leave it open.
Okay, leave it open. Got it. Okay, sir, so I'll have you come here. First, let me get everything positioned up. So no, you're fine. Come up back and face my tube really fast. I just want to get positioned up. So for me, I'll just go have him face the tube, and I'm just gonna go, here's his jugular notch. I'm gonna go about 1.5 inches above his jugular notch, so I don't have to mess with it. So now I got that done. I got everything else lined up. I don't have to mess with it. All right, sir, so I'm gonna have you trim this way. Okay, good. Now he's in true PA, so I'm gonna rotate him about 15 to 20 degrees. About there, just like that. Now, I'm looking at his spine, and I'm going to go from his spine about 2 fingers, which is about 1 inch lateral. So about right there. And I'm going to put my marker down, the right marker, on the right side, just like that. And then the patient is shielded, everything is lined up. Now it doesn't look like he has light showing, but I lined everything up in the beginning, so I think I should be good with that. Patient is shielded, SID is 40, KVP is 81, and his breathing will be expiration to depress the shoulders or shallow breathing. Shallow breathing, okay, shallow breathing. So go ahead and just take some nice slow breaths, sir. Patient is shielded and exposed. Okay, so now I'm going to do the lateral. So the lateral SID goes to 72. I'm going to have you step to the side really fast, just like that. I'm going to change this to 10 by 12, and I'm going to leave it alone. Change the marker there. Now I'm not going to do anything else with positioning and collimation. I'll just leave everything else alone. Have you stand here, just like that. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back, lock your thumbs together. Kind of puff out your chest if you can. Move back just a little bit, just like that. SID is 72. Patient is shielded. And I see I have a little bit of light field in front of him. And that's what we want.
Scoot your back a
little bit more. Okay, so we want a little bit.
Crosshairs in the middle of this. Yes. Okay, good. Yeah.
So the crosshairs you want.
Just like that. Just like that.
Okay.
So when he takes a breath in, he's going to pull his chest up.
I see. Okay.
Good.
All right. So the crosshairs about there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So good. Now for this one, go ahead and take a big breath in and hold it. Now again, patient was shielded. SID 72. KVP is 81.
Good.
Done. Okay. For the clavicle, go ahead and change. Face my tube right here. Now I'm going to change my IR to crosswise.
Okay.
Okay. So any preference on the left or the right side?
No, sir.
Okay.
You choose.
I choose. So it's that's 12, that's 10. So if it's 10 by 12, you want it to at 6 by 8?
8 by 12.
8 by 12, okay. Right there. 8 by 12, and then we don't mess with that again.
Right.
Okay, so we'll do the right side. So here's his right clavicle right there. It's a little bit high. I'm gonna move just a bit to the right, just like that. And move it up. Center it at the mid body of the clavicle, a little bit more to the other side. So take a mini step to your left, just like that. I'm including the SC joints there, and I see a little bit of light field on his right side,
Good.
and I'm centered right at the clavicle.
Good.
Lining up my board is lined up because it's his right side. I have my right marker here.
Good.
And SID is 40.
Okay. You can palm it even more than that on him.
Okay, so you want us to column it a little bit more?
I think so. If you need.
I mean, if I was
Yeah.
doing it in clinic, I would probably do it right
There you go. Yeah.
But I don't
that's
want to
good.
go too. I mean, don't be too risky where I want to clip anything. So.
How are you gonna clip anything?
Well, I mean, I don't
You know where his clavicle
Yeah,
is.
I mean, you can probably do that. But just to be on the safe
Yes,
side, that's
that's
pretty nice. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and SID is 40, KVP is 81,
Okay.
board is crosswise, and the breathing is expiration to depress the shoulders. Okay, good. Now, that's done, exposed. Okay. Now I am going to do the lordotic. I am going to put on a 10-degree angle,
Okay.
just like that. Okay, go ahead, take a step forward. Lean back, just like that. Good.
Yeah.
Just bear with me, try to do it fast. So here's this clavicle again,
Okay.
and I'm centered right
Sounds good.
right there.
Move like
And then
wind.
I'll move that down. Right there. So
Okay.
for this one, for inspiration to elevate the clavicle.
Good.
So go ahead and take a big breath in and then down.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and relax. All right, so for the chest, I'm sorry, for the ribs.
Okay.
Okay, for the ribs, we start off with 14 to 17. Now, if it's a big patient, we'll do crosswise, but we'll just verbally mention that because we're not mentioning the IR
Okay.
after that. So I'll just leave it at lengthwise.
All right.
That's 17. 14 by 17. That looks good right there.
Okay.
All right, so I'll have you stand here with the PHS out of the way, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
So, actually that looks pretty good. I have 1.5 inches of light on top. I'm centering it lower border of T7, lower border of the scapula or T7, just like that. Everything lined up. Go ahead and put your hands behind or on your sides. Roll your shoulders forward, just like that. SID is 72, patient is shielded at 110, and now it's going to be on the second inspiration and hold. So take a big breath in, let it out, take another big breath in and hold and expose.
Okay.
So that's done.
Okay.
Now, we're going to go through pretty much all the scenarios, so you pick the first one.
Okay. Left anterior.
Okay, so left anterior. So if it's left anterior, I'm going to have you turn around, back against the board, just like that. My first view for left anterior will be your it's going to be your left anterior, right? So I'm going to be don't tell me, I'm going to be right posterior oblique.
That's an RAO, but yes.
RAO, because
Okay,
I want,
right,
okay,
anterior.
here's his ping front, top.
Yes.
So I want that to be away from the board, but at the same time is facing the board,
Yes.
or closest to the board.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
your RAO.
Yes.
RAO, hand on top, left hand out, just like that. Everything else is centered, so that's pretty good. Now I'm just gonna look at his mid-sagittal plane, and then I'm gonna move you over just a tad bit, just like that. And I'm also making sure to include the spine, which is about there. Now for somebody smaller, I'll probably cone it or collimate it in a bit, but for him, I'll leave that alone. Everything is dead centered. For this one, I will put my right marker. Do you want us to put our marker in the front here?
Nope. That's a miss mark. So where would it go?
On the right side,
That's correct.
so about right there.
Yeah.
So if it's anterior, then it's going to be facing the board but away from the board.
Very
because it's anterior.
Okay, good. Good. And what's the inspiration?
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
what's
so
the respiration?
the breathing is in the top, right?
Yep.
So it's going to be inspiration. So go ahead and take a big breath in and hold
Very good.
and expose.
Okay.
Go ahead and pick another scenario.
Left posterior.
Left posterior, that's easy. Just have you turn around, just like that. Oh, I'm sorry, wait, did you say
Left
posterior?
posterior.
Okay, left posterior. So if it's left posterior, it's here, okay? So I'll have you turn around. So I've done my PHS first. Say if I
Yep.
went over it all over again, I do my PHS first. Now I'm going to do upper or lower?
Upper.
Upper. So if it's left posterior, I'm going to do a AP at 72, ensuring that I have light field on top, because it's left upper posterior.
Okay.
So I'm going to do an AP
Yep.
in this position, and then 72 at 81 kVp. And if it's upper, I'm going to have him take a breath in and hold it. So
Yep.
go ahead and take a breath in and hold it, patient shielded. I put my left marker on this side here.
Good. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So my third view for
Put your marker up higher. You're going to get it in rib number 1.
okay.
Yeah, right on the, there you go. Okay.
Okay, so if it's posterior, I'm gonna have him turn. Okay, it's left posterior, right? Upper.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have him turn this way.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have him put his left hand on top
Okay.
of his head, right hand away,
Okay.
and I'm gonna move him back a bit just so I see some light field
Yeah.
on that side.
And what's your angle of the body?
45 degrees.
Okay.
All the obliques are 45 degrees.
Okay.
So for this one, again, it's take a big breath in and hold it.
Okay. Good.
Okay, relax.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and pick the lower one. Let's go with the lower.
Let's go right lower posterior.
Okay, starting with that would be the PHS,
Okay.
done. Now if it's posterior lower, then I bring it in 40.
Okay.
Have you stand here, just like that. It's down. It's down. Make it more centered, just like that. That's good. Now I will change this to crosswise.
Very good. Okay.
So I changed this to crosswise at 14 by 17.
Okay.
Then it's just a straight shot, SID of 40. And I'm gonna make sure that the lower border of the light field is right at his iliac crest.
Okay.
So to be on the safe side, right there would be good.
Okay.
Then I will put my either left or right marker. I'll just put my left markers right here. So I'll just put my left marker right there.
Okay.
Okay, so now for this one, it will be full expiration.
Okay.
It's expiration. So go ahead, take a breath in, let it out, hold it out, and expose 40 at 85.
Good.
Okay, now that's done. Automatically, I take it back because I need to do my third view.
Okay.
Now for this one was posterior on the right side, so I'm going to turn him this way. Now you put this hand above your head, this hand away, just like that. This guy goes back to lengthwise.
Okay.
SID 72, and then for this guy, 45 degrees rotation, and then so for this guy, moving back a bit, just like that.
Yep.
That looks good. And there. I'm including a little bit of light field on that side. So it's right posterior lower back, or in the back. So his right side is touching. So it's right posterior oblique.
Yep.
And then if it's lower, it's going to be expiration. So take a breath in and hold it. No, I'm sorry. Take a breath in, let it out, keep it out,
yeah.
and expose.
Yeah. Okay. You did fine. You were done with your ribs and everything by 13 minutes. Okay. So I want to show you guys something. When you have it open like that. So when he's going right RPO at the 45 degree, look at where the crosshairs are. They're on this side of his body instead of the oriented side that we want. Okay?
Okay, so move him back more.
Yeah, and then we can bring it in a little bit. Yeah, okay? Because we want him over here. We want the central ray to enter in our object of interest so that when the divergence of the rays, we're getting our good ribs. We don't want it to enter over here and diverge, because then they're going to be even more elongated.
Right.
Okay, so make sure we're entering on the correct side of that mid-sagittal plane.
So if it's anterior, it's still facing the board, but it's away from the board. If it's posterior, it's against the board. And then it's just basically either right or left. So if it's anterior, it's the same. You're facing the board, but you're away from the board. So if it's, go ahead,
Yes.
if it's the right side, he's still facing the board, but he's away from the board.
Yep.
If it's on the right side. If it's on the left side, he's still facing the board, but he's away from the board.
Yep.
And if it's on the posterior side, he's touching the board, and he's right against the IR.
Yep.
And that's, again, to reduce elongation. Just needed a hand.
Yes. So the only thing you got tripped up on is when we said anterior,
Right.
you spin them around.
Right.
So just remember anterior, two pictures, two.
Two, exactly.
Okay.
I got that. PHS, and then if it's anterior, it's just the axillary,
Yep.
Oblique.
Yeah.
So if it's anterior, automatically have him face the board and then figure out, okay, what side is it? If it's the left side, then he is up. So if it's the left side, it's right anterior oblique. If it's the left side, if it's the right side, he's still facing the board. He's closer to the board, but now he's anterior. He's away, and
that is correct.
He's left anterior oblique.
Yes. Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Try to march them.
It'll be the same. Oh, you can try it. Let's go.